Buenas tardes, vamos a empezar la rueda de prensa de Gary Neville. Buena vesprada, vamos a empezar con Rovira ahí y luego vamos con las demás preguntas. Recordamos el nombre y el medio antes de formularla.
Rovira, de VCF Radio. Mister, ¿no ha sido una pena, después del esfuerzo, el gran trabajo que han hecho los jugadores en la segunda parte, este empate?
Yeah, I think that you could all see that it was a magnificent effort, and that's, I suppose, all that you can ask for in some ways from players. I think that we made the game difficult for ourselves. When you allow teams to counter-attack, it's a problem, and I think that it's something that we know about. It happened in the Lyon game, and it's happened again today, and I think that's a problem for us at the moment, that it means that you then have to actually use more energy up as the game goes on, because when you're having to run back towards your own goal, the effort is enormous, and it's a lot easier to run forwards than it is back in football. And I think that today we had to run back towards our own goal too many times. I think in the first half in particular. I thought actually for half an hour, 35 minutes after half time, we controlled the game and we sustained attacks. But then in the last 10 minutes, the counter-attack reappeared again and it caused a problem for us. But I think the first half we just made a couple of mistakes and they counter-attacked off the back of those mistakes. You know, you think about where the free kick came from. The free kick for the first goal came from our corner, where we didn't close off the edge of the box. So I think that, again, I'm talking about a disappointing result. It is a pity. But the effort was, as you say, it was enormous. I mean, they're absolutely gutted, obviously, the players, because of the effort they put into the game. And sometimes you get a little bit of good fortune at the end. Your way, we had a little bit of good fortune that Getafe didn't take one of their 2 or 3 chances at the end, but we could have obviously scored as well ourselves.
Hola, mister, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes, Quique Mateu, gestiona Radio Valencia. Da la sensación de que mientras su equipo físicamente estuvo bien para presionar arriba, jugó muy bien al fútbol y en la segunda parte, a medida que avanzaban los minutos, sufrió mucho más, pero que la primera parte es lo más parecido que hemos visto hasta ahora a lo que usted busca.
Yeah, I don't think the energy disappeared in the last 10 minutes. I think that I'd have to watch it back. I think, you know, you look at Cancelo, João Cancelo's tackle with 5 minutes to go was an incredible burst of energy and speed. But I think that the positions of stopping counter-attack and the understanding of how to stop counter-attack and sustain attacks is something that I'm more worried about than the physical effort today. The physical effort today, I've not seen the statistics, but I would imagine that that was definitely physically the best game that we've played in terms of the effort that was put in, the running. But we're going to get better in that sense, because I know that the recuperation now is going to be important. I know that we'll have more players coming back in the early parts of January, late December. And I think that it feels like that this rest is needed. And I think that hopefully then when we get back just after Christmas Day, that we can start to really concentrate on our understanding, but also that the physical elements and the players will have recuperated a little bit, because like I say, you could see that, you know, Mustafi was, you know, he was struggling with his hamstring from the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes in the match. He stayed on the whole 90 minutes. Jose Gaya, 15 minutes, he obviously had to come off. There's a lot of players out there who were really fighting to get through the game.
Aquí, mister, al final, Dani Meroño en directo para Deportes con Julio Insa. Quería preguntarle, el Valencia siempre se ha caracterizado por tener una buena defensa, o los últimos años ha defendido bastante bien, pero hoy precisamente ha tenido una fragilidad defensiva muy notoria. Ha tenido muchos problemas en defensa. ¿Le preocupan los problemas en defensa que tiene el Valencia ahora mismo? ¿Es quizá el principal problema que tiene?
I'm not concerned because the defence is weak. I'm concerned about mainly us being counter-attacked against. When we're actually set into our shape and we're compact, teams don't seem to cause a problem for us. The only times we had problems today were when we were going forward and the team counter-attacked against us, or we made a mistake deep in our own half. If you look at the game and look at the chances that were created against us, they were never chances that were created when we were actually in a good defensive shape. So I'm not concerned about the defensive shape or the defensive weakness. That isn't a problem for me. Actually, our organisation, when we're attacking, which is one of the most difficult things to get, the defensive attacking balance is my main thought of wanting to work on, and really work with the players on it again in this next period, because everybody knows that in transition, in counter-attack, you're at your weakest, because that's when you're out of your shape, and that the other team are actually in a position whereby they can spring off you. And I think that today we had 2 or 3 of those moments in the last 10 minutes, and we had 2 or 3 moments in the first half. And I think that other than we have to learn together how to stop counter-attacks against us when we're attacking, and that isn't a defensive line problem. That is a different problem.
Siguiente pregunta. Sí, por aquí delante, Cristina. Aquí y aquí. Tus compañeros ingleses.
Gary, Pete Jensen from The Independent. Did you know much about Paco Alcacer before you came here? Have you been impressed with him? How far do you think he can go? And ultimately, is he compatible with Negredo, or is it a problem sometimes when the two of them are on the pitch together?
I think that I've been impressed with him. His intelligence, his understanding, his work is fantastic. He's a goal scorer. His instinct is to score goals. His disappointment when the team don't win. So he's got Valencia in his heart. In terms of the relationship with Alvaro, we haven't seen it really. I mean, we saw it for 20 minutes against Eibar, and we saw it for 20 minutes today, 10 minutes today, 15 minutes today. I think that it's too early to say that it's not a partnership or it is a partnership. I think that ultimately it's something that we know that Alvaro's not played for 3 months, so it's not been established as a partnership. And I think with anything, it's like a centre-back partnership or a central midfield partnership, it needs time to be able to work on. But I think that it's something that we can work on. We've got lots of games to be able to work on it in the next 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, there's an enormous fixture programme. We've got games Saturday, Wednesday through the whole of January. And I think at this moment in time, I'm just happy that I've got Alvaro fit again, and that he's looking better, and that Paco's looking fresh. Paco's one of the players that he looks like he could play 90 minutes every game, no problem. But he's a fantastic talent.
Hello, Michael Storey, LP Media. The team played today with massive intensity that I haven't seen all year round from Valencia. How do you expect to keep up this level of intensity throughout the games that you mentioned, Saturday, Wednesday, difficult games at that? How much rotation are you planning to introduce? Are there any irreplaceable players? Basically, how do you keep up the intensity every 3 days?
Massive intensity playing every 3 days is what Valencia should be doing. That's what the great football clubs do, and Valencia I count as a great football club. The idea of being able to repeat that high level of performance and that intensity week in, week out is what you need. It's what everybody wants. Yes, 22 players being fit, so that the idea that today we rotated from Barrakelda and that we had different players playing, that will help. And I have to trust the squad. We have obviously players to come back as well. So when we have the 22 players, it'll enable us in January to be able to rotate and use all the squad. I think that from my point of view, you have to be able to produce the same level of performance Wednesday, Saturday. When you think about a football club that's got 22 players in the squad of this quality, that you have to trust that the left back that's playing on the Saturday might be different than the left back that's playing on the Wednesday, but you expect the same level of performance and you expect the same level of physicality. So from that point of view, that's something that I have to manage. But no, I don't expect us to drop. I don't expect us to drop. I won't accept us to drop. And to be fair, with what I've seen today, you just said it yourself. I didn't say it. You said it was the biggest effort you've seen this season on the pitch from a Valencia team. I don't know the answer. I don't know whether that is the answer or not, because I've not seen every single match. But what I do know is there is an absolutely magnificent effort put in by the players. I could not have asked for any more effort. Maybe a little bit more guile in stopping the counter-attack, but then that's something that we can work on from an understanding point of view. But they really are, like I say, the players are disappointed in the change room. I'm disappointed because when you put that amount of effort into a game, you hope that you can get the result out of it, and we haven't done, and that's disappointing because we expect to win, today.
Vamos con las últimas preguntas, una pregunta cada uno, ¿vale?
Hi Gary, Darren Corrigan from ESPN. Just to say, it seems like the team are maybe lacking a little bit in confidence the way results have gone over recent weeks and months here, and the fans as well are maybe a little bit down. How can you work on that, maybe with the language barrier and that? How can you work on that at training to maybe raise their confidence and get the spirit going again amongst the team and also amongst the club and the fans?
Yeah, confidence confidence only comes back to full height in football through work and preparation and having confidence that you're doing the right things. And when you're doing the right things consistently every single day, preparing well, resting well, eating well, working well, then eventually the table will turn, the results turn and things start to come your way. That's just the way of football. It's what I believe in. That confidence isn't this sort of mythical, magical thing that in midair. It's through hard work and having belief that actually I work damn hard, and through working damn hard and preparing well and looking after myself, that actually the right things will come to me. And I genuinely believe in that. That's what my premise of my career. And I have to say, I've said it now after every press conference, and you've seen it today. The application desire is absolutely there. The talent is there. The recuperation now for 7 days, the rest of 7 days will be good. I think that will just allow us just to sort of come off it a little bit, step away from things, enjoy a break. The players have got programs to follow during that break, and they'll follow them. The players who are injured are still working during this 7-day period to get fit for when we get back. And I think from that point of view, I think that when we come back, just after Christmas, we'll be in a good place, and we'll be in a better place than we are in this last 10 days, because it's been incessant this last 10 days, really, from the moment of Lyon right the way through to today.
Hola Gary, Paco Lloret, Deportes 7. Le quería preguntar por dos jugadores. Uno de ellos es Abdenur. En la primera parte ha tenido pues algunos fallos, el público se ha puesto nervioso. No sé si usted en el descanso ha hablado con él y cómo estaba. Y el otro es Joao Cancelo. Creo que ha hecho un partido espectacular, jugando en derecha y jugando por la izquierda. Gracias.
Cancelo was a fantastic performance. It was everything that you would want from a modern day wide player, whether playing at fullback or in the forward position. He was up and down. His confidence, his ability was wonderful. I think that he benefited from the week he's had in terms of not playing against Barrichello. I think you saw today a fresher player who was invigorated. I think in terms of Ayman, no, I didn't speak to him at half-time specifically at all, because I think that what happened in the first half can happen to any player during their career. It's a moment that I don't speak about those things. That happened to me, happens to everybody. What I speak about is repeated patterns that go well or don't go well. So, like I say, the main improvement for me today was not anything to do with individual. That's something that obviously we'll speak about with the players. But I think the main thing was just making sure that we created a lot more work for ourselves in having to run back towards our own goal through not being in the right positions to prevent counter-attack. And I think that's something that really is my main feeling coming out of the game, that sustaining attacks, you think about a boxer, you don't allow counter punches, you sustain attacks, you punch after punch after punch after punch, not allowing your defence to be broken back the other way and getting hit with a sort of a counter punch. And that's what I felt like today. We've been counter punched on 2 or 3 times, and that hurt us a little bit, and it catches you off guard and it sets you back a little bit.
Buenas tardes, mister. Alex Heras para el Desmarque y el Taller Deportivo. Me gustaría que nos dijera cómo está Gaya y si le preocupa, son casi un futbolista por partido, cuando no 2, los que caen lesionados muscularmente, muchos problemas. ¿Qué se estaba haciendo mal? Ha sido el cambio un poco de un trabajo a otro, pero el Valencia sale casi a lesionado por partido. Si le preocupa y cómo solucionarlo.
I'm trying to work it out. I think after 10 days, we've lost Enzo Perez, Gaya today. Mustafi was obviously strapped up in the second half. It's happened all season. I'm praising this with the medical staff and with the fitness staff. It's something I don't want to happen. And at the moment, my feeling is that we might have to take a step back to go forward and make sure that when players are returning from injury, when players come back from the break that we've got now, that we actually have to get to a level whereby we have to design a programme in the first 3 weeks of January that might mean that we take a step back, but actually for February, March and April we're in a better position, because as you say, losing players after 15 minutes, 20 minutes in games obviously is not good. That's something that obviously disrupts the flow of the team. It's not good for the players, it's not good for the fans, it's not good for the coach. So and the players work hard, so the medical team work hard. So I think we just have to review this now in this break and say, okay, what are we going to do to make sure to try and stop this occurring moving forward? Because like you say, it's happening too many times. I think, you know, the report that I saw, that I asked for on Thursday, showed that we've had double the injuries of last season. We've had more injuries this season already than we have in the whole of last season. That's a problem. So I've got to stop that. I take responsibility for that. I'm the head coach. The medical team here are fantastic. The fitness coach that I've got is very good. We know that we've got to alter things and we've got to manoeuvre things into a way, but sometimes you can think too much about it as well. But we certainly are thinking a lot about this and making sure that we attend to it, because, you know, I take it as my responsibility that I've got to look after the players, because it's not through a lack of hard work from the players.
Última, last question.
Hola, mister. Juan Carlos Alarcón de Plaza Deportiva. Al hilo de esto que comentaba, ¿cómo le viene al equipo este parón ahora de 7 días de vacaciones? Y sobre todo, si cree que puede cambiar esta dinámica que está usted hablando, porque en enero, si el equipo avanza en Copa del Rey, vamos a tener partido miércoles, domingo, todo el mes, hasta febrero.
Yeah, the program in January. I think I sort of when I was playing in England, and even sort of the last couple of years, I had this sort of feeling that, you know, the English league was the crazy one, that we played every 3 days in England. But actually, I see the program over here, and it's very similar actually. And obviously, this 7-day break is the difference. But 7 days, you know, isn't a massive break. But what it does, I agree, it's the best thing for us at this moment in time. And I think that now it allows the players just to step away mentally and physically, and ourselves as well, just to sort of pull ourselves together and say, okay, how do we get a programme from just after Christmas to deal with Villarreal, Real Madrid, Granada, Sociedad, all the games that we have. It's a big programme. It's a good programme. It's a good programme of games. You look at the games, they're fantastic. They're fantastic football matches that we should be looking forward to. I'm looking forward to them. But I agree with you that at this moment in time, the best thing I think is mentally and physically for us just to sort of stand clear and have a break, let the players rest, recuperate, and feel better in 6, 7, 8 days' time when they come back. Okay. Muchas gracias. Thank you.